Too. My name's Marge, Milk Empath. I'm a Heyoka empath. I never even meant to be. It was all so beautifully orchestrated. I didn't even find out till 3 years ago. Heyoka. It was Shannon that said, "You're Heyoka." I was like, "What's Heyoka?" And it was around the same time Mom had a DNA test, and we found out where she's like 34% native to America, 33% Spanish from Spain. Yeah. And here I've been putting white Caucasian on all my documents my whole entire life because Grandma was pale. Isn't that funny? But Grandpa is brown as all get out, He's German. Grandma had like the Scandinavian, Norwegian part, but Grandpa, German. Hezig? Hezig! Hezzig is what my last name derived from. Hezig. Hezig. Doesn't it sound awful? As I say that, the wind started kicking up. It came on earlier as I brought a dryer with me to the new homestead, and we were putting it in, and it was like, because the other one's hooked to gas, and they don't have the gas hooked up, so I'm like, I got this one, all you gotta do is plug it in. But mine has a 3-prong, and the wall outlet is a 4-prong. So it was an emotional roller coaster, because they haven't had a dryer that dries with heat, in a while. So I was like, oh, that's no problem. I got on the interweb, and I could go down and get a 4-prong cable at Home Depot or one of those box stores and put it in myself. It'll take about 15 minutes. So, yeah. Thanks, Uncle Sam, for making me, giving me the ability to be self-sufficient and do technical things, So, yeah, I started out, like, I remember I was like 4 years old, 5 years old. 4 years old is before we moved, and we moved to Reading. I turned 5 up in Reading. And so it was before that. We still lived in Morro Bay. And I wanted a bicycle, and I got a bicycle. And you guys gave it to me, and it had training wheels on it. And I didn't want no baby training wheels. I wasn't no baby. I wasn't going to ride a bike with baby training wheels on it. And so I went in the garage, got the freaking pliers, took the training wheels off myself. You guys like, okay, this is how you ride a bike. And then, that was it. And then I went out and I practiced for like 7-9 days. Like every day before preschool or whatever. And then I was always on my bike until I got it, until I passed through the threshold of your body not knowing how to do something to knowing how to do something, because you can't unknow it. Like, once you learn how to ride a bike, you're not gonna forget how to ride a bike, and there's all these parts of spirit that help us master ourselves, because we're just aspects of spirit, God, and just because we don't create earth, in the same respect that he created the earth in 6 days, 7 days, or whatever he did, we can create the earth because we have thumbs. And how do we create an earth? We could have heaven on earth. We could have heaven on earth. There's too many scared people that won't acknowledge that there's control paradigms, and they just, it's just easier to bury your head in the sand. It's easier to say, no, that doesn't happen. It's easier to say, no, that's not real. And then live in this little, la la land. La la la, everything's great. Everything's wonderful. It's so weird. They lie to themselves.
You don't have to worry about fixing anything you let somebody else.
Yeah. And then they go around telling people how other people act like a victim. You know, I noticed. I learned that a long time ago. That when people, people tell you when they're telling you, you do that. My whole life they've been told me about me. You do this and you're so selfish and you're this and you're this and you're that and this and that and that and this and this. And come to find out, like, studying about psychology and things like that, it's projection. That's all. You spot it, you got it. And I still do. I do it too. That's the thing is I'm a human being. I'm a spirit having a human experience. As humans, I project things on things, but that's why I ask questions at the same time. This is my perception of this. Would you care to elaborate and care to interject and help me change my mind to not see that this is the reality of the situation? Most of the time, people don't. They don't because usually I'm pretty right. I'm not right all the time. I am not 100% right. Ain't nothing no 100% no correct, But I got a pretty high percentage of being correct about true heart space. And everybody does. They just ignore it. Or if they do question it and the person just goes, "No, that's not how it is." But, we know what truth feels like, just like we know when you walk into a room and there's tension in the air.
Oh, you can feel it. If you don't see it, you feel it.
Hey, what's going on? You could totally feel it, man. Vibes, people could totally feel vibes and they don't listen to themselves. No, that's not real. No, that's not true. Oh, if I had a square foot for all the people that told me that. Based on things that were in fact real and true. Babies don't get raped. There's no thing as the Lucy fairy tale theater. That stuff just plain don't happen. 800,000 people don't go. You know what I think that they do? Because I know for a fact. I've been in tech IT for many, many years, and I know how data works. Data, analyzing data, they always fluff the numbers. Okay, say you work in a company with 500 people and they send out an email and they're like, "Okay, what do you think that we should do to change the company?" Right? To make the company better. They send out 500 emails. Okay, most of those people aren't even going to read the email. They're just going to say, "Oh, it's another mass, it's another." It's more bullshit from the company, unless they're like mandatorily made to participate. But if you don't make people do it, the people that actually participate are very, very few. Okay, so out of 500, maybe half of that, open the email. Okay, I'm not just talking about opening the email, because as IT professionals, we always were trying to do updates and stuff like that with large groups of people. But you're talking to freaking herded cats that don't give a fuck. So they're not. It's like I've always had to work in places where I've had to get on people to do my job for them. Like, I need to update your computer. You got a virus on your computer. I need to clean the virus off so you can do your job. And they're like,
and you're upset with you?
Yeah, it's just so weird. It's like people don't know how to be accountable for themselves. They just know how to be victims. And it's like, hey, don't go to sites where you aren't supposed to go, and you won't get shit on your computer that would impede your progress. Yeah, and then people just get so indignant about the weirdest because they don't want to take responsibility for themselves. So it's easier to be standoffish and be like, and blame somebody else because, well, being accountable is what, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know a lot of accountable people. I just don't like when I make a mistake. I know when I make a mistake. And I don't even really look at mistakes as mistakes. I look at them more as life lessons. Like, don't do this because this happens.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yeah, you don't.
I don't make the same life lesson. I don't have the same life lesson over and over.
You don't create that thing.
No, because oftentimes if something is uncomfortable, I'm not even going to put myself in a position to be uncomfortable again.
You learn.
I learn. And then, that's what humans as spirits supposed to do. You're supposed to try all this stuff. I used to be a daredevil when I was a kid. I used to freaking fall out of trees, my near-death experiences, and, I've probably had, yeah, lots. Yeah, it's amazing that I did not perish, that I even lived when some of the, always tempting fate, always tempting fate. Yeah.
Push a little bit further.
But see, the thing of it is that if I tempting fate is a very egoic thing. That is not allowing God and divinity to do His work. So, I believe that in my last incarnate, I was a man. And I tempted fate and lost my life. And I came in this incarnation as a female to get the opposite, like Switch, that movie with Ellen Barkin in the 90s, to get my karma from how terribly I treated women. That's what I believe. Yeah. And so, and in this incarnate, I get all of the, I get it all. I've gotten it all, Mom. I got it all. I've had it. I've had it all. So everything that I dished out to the feminine energy came back to me, and then what I had to rectify is I never wanted to be a man. There's storylines with people now. It's really prevalent. It's like 5-6-year-olds, where people want to experience, as spirits, they want to, we're fluid. Our energy's fluid. It's always, there's always questions that come up in a human being's mind. It's part of being a human being. It's how people react to those thoughts, and now there's a whole storyline. 5-6-year-old boys want to wear a dress, they're transgender, and they get to, they're 12-13-year-olds having surgery and stuff like that, and it's just that isn't even a storyline that even makes sense to me, because let them try it on without taking it to the tailor, if you get what I mean. You know what I mean? Don't let children have surgeries to change their sexual gender. It's the parent, it's the adult's role to be like, you know what? If you feel like this later on in life, you can. But right now, you're going to be a kid. And I don't care if you're a boy who wants to wear dresses and, I don't care. I never bought into that gender-specific bullshit. That's what society puts on people. It's not what people put on people, unless, you're one of the sheep that's going along with it, What else? I want to thank my buddy DM for contributing to donating funds to the channel. I woke up and there's a nice little gift in there to help go towards the fixing the big red truck. The word is it's not a blown engine. The word is it's maybe the fuel pump inside the truck, inside the tank, which is kind of sucks because I just put a full tank of gas in it, and that's just all goes down. Because you got to get it, because they bad design. They put the full fuel filter inside the tank, so you got to drain the tank to get to the fuel filter. Yeah, it's just but it's not a blown engine, so. Well, hopefully I can get enough to save her and keep her, because I would like to keep her. She's a good truck, and I love her. Big red truck, I love her. Yeah. So, what else? I don't know really what's going on in the news. I get stuff on YouTube today. Thank you, Jen. Pocket, last president. There is a talk where Mom and I are going to listen to. We like the astrology, or I like the astrology hub, and especially when Rick Levine is on it, because he's on it today. He's a regular, I believe. Oh yeah, I guess he's on Fridays with Amanda Poole Walsh, and his middle name's Merlin, Mom. Merlin. That's what it's on his driver's license. Even I'll show him to you later.
Is he an older man?
Yeah, he's older. He's older than what, Mom? You're older than you? I don't know if he's older than you. You're about to be Mom's has a birthday at this end of this month. Mom's gonna be 70. 70. Mom. Mom, that is because you had your major. My mom had a major brainstem stroke when she was 38 years old, 39 years old. She didn't get to go to one of those rehab facilities, those fancy ones where you can just rest and get better. She didn't get to go one of those. She came home after being in the hospital about a week, and we would do things like pick leaves up in the front yard. Hand pickups, and that's how she got her equilibrium. I would hang on to I'd hang on to her, and she would bend over and pick up leaves to keep your balance. Yeah. So when people demand so much money to take care of people, all I think about is how much we didn't have, and that we're pretty healthy. You know.
We are healthy.
I mean, I got Mom's pretty smile. Mom has she has all of her teeth, We brush our teeth every day. Time to brush teeth, Mom. Time to brush teeth. We both have our dimples. We put, I'm always on her feet, because feet are important. You got to get in the elders' shoes and look at their feet. Feet are very important. And have the right shoes. We put lotion on her feet every day, and because that's another remarkable thing about my mom is my mom didn't walk until you were probably 5 years old, because she was born with club feet. See, and so her little feet. She had. I can't even tell you how many surgeries, because I don't know, but I put lotion on her feet all the time, and there's scars all. She's had tendon replacements. She's had heel cord lengthening. And when I was in the right, but the thing of it is your dad, your Robert, he helped you to stretch your feet and exercise, and she never complains. Like she'll like if I hit her foot because her feet are so tender and so sensitive that if I hit too hard or something, and I got a little taste of it because I had an ankle surgery like Mom did, just one, and I was no weight bearing for 2 weeks, and then I had a cast, and by the end of that I was ready to cut the thing off myself. And I don't know how you did it. It's hard. But she took her first steps in cast with those little wooden nubbins on the end. She's never got no compensation for that. None of that. She doesn't get compensated for all these things that she's gone through. The fact is, and you know what the best part about the whole thing is that she has always maintained her faith in God. Always, and she's always instilled it in me. And she's her low is a lot lower. She was taken from her family. She was taken from her original mother and daughter and put, because that's what the government does. They take you away from your family and then pay these organizations, and she lived in an orphanage for 3 years until Robert and Margaret came and adopted you out of El Paso, Texas in 1953. And then they raised you. And the interesting part is that recently, well, I logged back onto her Ancestry page because she always gets notifications that they found a new relative for her, and it was like, it's kind of cool, but it's like, oh, well, my own relatives that I'm involved in my life right now aren't that rad, so what do I care? You know what I mean? It's like our own immediate family isn't that rad, so I'm sure that 2,000 people that we don't know are not exactly going to be like, oh yeah, But Mom's you got like freaking 12 first cousins.
You can meet some of them.
And I bet they're around here. I bet they are.
Locally?
Arizona, yeah.
Oh, okay, Arizona.
Well, because you were born in Texas, or you were, but that doesn't mean you were born in El Paso.
I don't remember all of that.
Yeah. That's why I tell stories about it, because what I remember, because I don't know if I'm going to remember stuff every day either, for the rest of my life, so.
You have quite a good memory.
Yeah.
And recall.
Thanks, Ma. I'll just say thank you. I'm not good at taking compliments, as you can see. This is Mom's. I guess I got it. That's the best way I can freaking pay her back, is just to always be joyful, And then she lived by herself for a long. You had your own duplex. You lived in it in Anderson, and then what happened is what I noticed is back in like 2006, 2007 is just like your mortgage payment kept coming up, but you're going up, but it was like you only got like $900 a month, and your house payment was like eight. So it was they had no business giving you a loan to begin with. You know what I mean? They like that,
Yeah.
like that kind of thing. They kind of roped you into that, and then so it was just like, Mom, then you were going without everyday amenities. So that's when we decided Mom was going to come out and live with Marge in 2008, 2007, 2008, and we've been together ever since. And it wasn't until Oregon that's when I picked up the work from home daughter. Work from home daughter, huh?
Oh, I see. That's neat.
Because I hang out with my mom, work from
Oh.
home. Yeah.
Oh, I love. Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
not know that.
Because sometimes we forget that we're hungry for like 8 hours. So if I go off to work and I come back, and I would make sandwiches and stuff like that, and they would still be in the same spot after I was gone. So I'm just like, you know what? I never really liked living and working in corporate America, and working for other people, and just really not getting.
Is it really clannish?
Oh, that's all.
Is it
It's all, Mom. That's all a business is like somebody has the power to treat people however they want
To
within the
control.
organization. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And they can be really.
Yeah, and when you work for these bigger organizations like the U.S. military, I was listening to Jessie Zaboter this morning, and she was talking about the veterans that are, roped off, like, you know, it's on Raising Aquarius Africa was her interview. It was her 14th interview today. And she was talking about how back when Obama, the slammer, no, that's what I call it because I fucking hate the guy. He's a scumbag, and he freaking dropped in, modern times drops Agent Orange off in these small impoverished countries, and then they send a bunch of um, uh, military members in as a training. Just make them do it as training. But Agent Orange does it. It freaking ate off their boots. It ate off the bottoms of their feet. And only two people that they sent in to do this training mission to fuck people up just because they're freaking sadistic, maniacal, freaking disgusting scumbags. Only two people out of the whole group that went in lived. And then the one guy, his feet were melted, They ultimately ended up amputating his feet. But Obama, he's a really cool fucking guy, isn't he? Isn't that Obama guy? He's just the coolest. How he shoots basketballs. He's just a cool fucking guy with his fucking man, husband, wife, whatever. It's just disgusting. These people, and Obama's ass has been freaking. This story goes, his ass has been freaking passed around circles of the bro club too. So what do you do? You just, you get in positions of power. I just always think, what do these people do to get in the positions of the power that they're in? That's why I ain't ever going to be in power of nothing, man. Because I'm not going to fucking do that butt shit that they fucking all do. That I ain't going to do any of that. I ain't going to do none of that sick and twisted freaking bro shit, man. I did 6 years in the Air Force because I could only do 6 because I couldn't stand the swinging dicks that just who's in charge and how they feel that day. They used to call training missions, right? They would from Offutt fly out to Virginia Beach and shit like that. St. Andrews, because military. There's military bases. Right there, you got the best golf courses of any place, and they would fly out on taxpayers' money. Right. First of all, they'd say it costs like designated like $12,000 for this training flight out to and then they fly out whatever number they put on it. They just put exorbitant numbers on it because don't you know how important they are? And then they fly out and then they go play golf with their buddies. And then they fly home, and then they're home drinking freaking their cocktails at the officers club by 7 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
See, because usually people do this in cars and shit like that, but you got the egomaniacal in the military. They do this on our fucking funds, flying planes all over the fucking world, you know, and they call them training missions. Yeah, yeah.
At the taxpayers.
At the taxpayers' expense. That's why it's funny. It's funny. People like us live on freaking shit, next to nothing. Don't get the benefits that we, you know, the pay that we, you know, when like I'm work from home daughter, I don't get my VA, I don't get my college degree, none of that is added to it, right? No, none of that, you know. So fuck you very much. Don't nobody ever thank me for my service. Never. Never. Because you might as well just say, thank you for sucking dick. Yeah. And no, that ain't my thing. And I only did it for 6 years. So go thank somebody else that sucked dick for 20, 25 years and gets their pension and stuff like that. Thank them for their service because they did more service than I did. Huh. Oh, don't ever think. Thank me for fucking flipping Baby Bush the bird out the hangar door 9/11. Some chick like evidently flipped off Trump and like she got to run for Congress, right? This was like years ago, a couple years ago. I flip off fucking one of the biggest the one of the biggest members of the warmongers, you know, and I mean that's got to be worth something, you know. PayPal me what that's worth, you know. Send me what that's worth. Yeah, because I ain't seeing nobody else, no other arms out the hangar door. Just mine. Just mine. Here you go, baby bitch Bush. You're a fucking scumbag. On 9/11. Yeah. And go look at the base of what off it is. Looking Glass. Yeah. Yeah. Cobalt. I talk about all that stuff. All of it. I only did 6 years, you know. But I quit playing the game. I got out. Because I couldn't stand it. I could not stand. I enlisted because I craved for standards. I needed some kind of environment that there was continuity, that there were guidelines, that this is what is written and this is how it is. And the military was the biggest fucking joke because it's all about who's fucking in charge and how they feel in the instant that they say something. And if they're fucking bipolar, and I call it bipolar, I think it's full spectrum. But if they're, you know, they're real in their ego, they would have us like standing out on the flight line for like they'd pick people out of age and out of like jets and propulsions and out of these different shops, right? Mm-hmm. And they'd say, okay, you got a special duty, and they go make them stand on the flight line. Well, no, because they wanted while one of the planes was leaving because it had a really important general on it, right? And so they'd have like 15, 20 people standing out there, and they'd have them go out at like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. But then the general wouldn't fucking take off until 10. So that's 15, 20 people, we'll say 3 hours a pop, 3 times 20. That's 60 man hours wasted when maybe the fucking general's gonna look out the window and watch these fucking idiots waving at him. You know? Look really excited! The general's taking off! You think the fucking general's really looking out the window when he takes off? So because, you know, but just in case. The whole military is and it's so funny to me that people keep freaking giving their kids away to die. It's not funny to me. But that's what they do. Go enlist. You can't help your kids come up with better viable ways to learn trades. I had a conversation with a kid last night. I had this new app. It's called Stereo. Yeah, and what you can do is you can just have random conversations with people. It makes your little avatar. Somebody in Instacrap told me about this.
Insta what?
I call it Instacrap. It's Oh, they're talking about being an empath. This is MS Miss Master Fox with 2X. In anyway, they're cute. So what you do is you just have random conversations with people. And so I had a conversation with a kid last night, and he was from South Africa, Tanzania.
Was he? Did he speak English?
Yeah. And he's like 18, 19 years old, something like that. Or he's just on the end of high school, and he's like, "What do you recommend about college?" And I was like, "I recommend you save your fucking money." Because there's no way that these kids that they come out of high school and then it's like colleges have the expectation that their educations are worth like $200,000 for the 5 years that they're there, because people don't really get education in 4 years anymore. It's not like it was. So, but it's like $200,000, right? So you have these people that can't really afford that anyway. And then once they're done with college, you have this degree, but who fucking cares? Because you're spending the rest of your life paying off bullshit college debt, because the interest rates and well, that's all changing too. But still, it's a racket. It's just a racket. So I don't think that kids should go to college anymore. I think people should learn fucking trades like upholstery or being a blacksmith, like a skill. We're going back to grassroots. It's happening. We're seeing it. Go farm. Do things that are going to add to your local community. The way of the ego. We see where that's gotten us. We see where the desire for success and blah, 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 all that shit. We see what it does. That's why we got the world we got now, because more than 51% of the population cares more about external shit than they do about internal shit. And so this is the world we get, and people have to start looking at themselves and being accountable for themselves. What are you willing to tolerate? How many people go to work at a job that they hate, with people that they hate, but they act like they're just the best thing in the world? Like oh, this is. I used to do it too. And it was God's grace that was given to me that has stripped me away from the 3D earth. For the most part, I don't have to deal with the bullshit. I got difference. I got a barking dog who Benny wants to come in, and it ain't time for him to come in because he's got to be outside being a dog still, And I've had a lot of the experiences. I've been to a lot of the places, but every time I visit far off lands and I go to different places, I'm just like, oh, this place is just like other places I've been. Things are the same wherever you go. People are the same wherever you go. You got the withholder, and you got the giver. And we live in the world where freaking people withhold, man. I was talking about this the other day. When I sneezed, when I was in corporate America, people would not bless me. They would not say bless you. It's like, it was weird. People would sneeze. I'd hear them in earshot. I'd be like, bless you, But when I sneeze, people wouldn't. And that's a very withhold. It's like. And you know what I started to do? I started to say, when I'd sneeze and people wouldn't bless me, I'd be like, that's cool, I'm already blessed. I don't need it,
That's funny.
It's like, give me a fucking break, just being a withholder, and then I freaking, it's the withholder, man. I know the withholder. I know, Ma.
There's a lot of them.
You were kind of a withholder at some point, because you were so stressed out with how we were going to get by with things that you couldn't put the emotions, or you couldn't pick up on our emotions, so you would cut off. You'd shut down. And that is what gave me the opportunity to, at a very young age, to learn how to soothe myself.
How you don't want it.
I'd soothe myself. I'd calm myself. It's okay. Because I didn't get the parental guidance hold me and put me on, and tell me everything's gonna be all right and buy me an ice cream, and I didn't get that fucking shit. So now I look at society and all these people that got that fucking shit, and I'm just like, maybe that's more to your detriment, because now for people to be calm, it's like, you gotta give them a fucking ice cream or some shit. You gotta give them some, or drugs are. I fucking hate drugs. I hate pharmaceuticals. I hate the whole industry, and I know people that that freaking profit, and they get to go on family vacations every year because he works for big fucking pharma. You're legalized druggie, but it's just like, but people tell themselves what I'm doing is helping. No, is what you're doing helping more than hindering, or more people are freaking walking around as spiritual zombies because they're so yeah. I know a gal. It was like we were wrapping up some business after I moved from Oregon, and it was like the last couple conversations I had, it was her. I'm so high right now, I hope I remember this conversation. Wow. Because of fucking pills. Because of fucking pills. It's like drunks and pill heads, man. It's just like, I just, and the people that need, and then the ones that like go to the doctor and get pills to change their mood, and then they work with the doctor to always get different pills. You're a fucking guinea pig, man. You're a guinea pig that is just like pigging for sensations, chasing sensations. I like flour. I like to make cookies out of my flour, and I give the cookies away too. Yeah, they're my good karma cookies. Yeah, good karma cookies. And VA put me on pills that could made my head, venaflexine that I started. Yeah, that stuff has a 31% suicide rate in studies in the UK. And they wonder why fucking 22 veterans are killing themselves every day. Well, let's see. Because, well, I get emails all the time. Well, I've never been a suicidal type. There have been times that I've just like, I don't want to live anymore, but I was never going to do anything to take, maybe drink a couple of fists of Jack Daniels. Maybe I'd pass out, never wake up. I was never, I was too, no.
You were never suicidal.
Not like, no. But I would, but at the same time, I would drink in ways that people don't live from. So, but now I don't drink.
That's good.
Yeah. Why was I going with that? I was talking about. I guess it's gone. I'm not supposed to talk about it if it falls out of my head. Oh, my can of cookies, and I smoke the flour, mm-hmm. and I like, and I know that I can help a lot more veterans than the fucking VA system. You know why? Because veterans can get through to me. They can get a hold of me. They can't get a hold of the fucking VA system. I getting emails from them all the time. These are all the programs that we offer, right? So there's a thing for like a $1,200 stimulus package, or $1,200 something economics, whatever that I'm not eligible for.
You're not eligible?
No, you gotta like, anyway. But I know people that are, and so I sent it to them, mm-hmm. Right? And that's the thing, is like, it's like when people need this help, how many veterans like that really need this help? How many of them fucking get email? I mean, how you can't even get a hold of a person. So based on that alone, how is a person supposed to get help when you can't not even get a hold of a person? You can't get help. How many, homeless veterans are getting email notifications to go to this portal to fill out this data so you too can have this, you want to help people? Put fucking cash in their hand. Put fucking cash in their hand. Hey, and if you're worried about what people are going to do with cash in their hands, it ain't yours to worry, because you just want to help people. So even if they freaking go out, get a bunch of opiates, OD, mm-hmm. At least they're dying on their own terms. You know what I mean? Yeah. And look, Oregon did it. Oregon legalized all the drugs. What kind of heroin, cocaine. They made it. They made it so you could. Yeah, you can have it all. You can have it all. You go to Oregon. I'm so glad I fucking escaped from Oregon. Oregon is a shithole. Those are the most plastic motherfuckers. I met like two people that were cool in Oregon. One of them was Pam, worked in the laundromat. But that place is just like run by freaking sadist witches and warlocks or whatever they call themselves. That they hinder because there's only 7 million people in the whole state. Like Arizona, like you look at the numbers, there's like I think in how much is in Arizona. But if you, I mean, you talk in terms of okay, there's 7 million people. You know, how many of those are between 18 and 65? You know what I mean? Like how many are under 18? So you probably got like a million kids under 18. So you got 6 million, and then you get government bailouts in the billions, and then all the government buildings, there are cranes all over them because they're all getting renovated and upgraded with all the latest and greatest, with all the stimulus packages that they get in the billions. But that trickles down to $1,200 a piece for 7 million people one time a year. In 10 months with all this Rona shit. You see how the numbers? It's like they pay themselves to hinder deliberately, and then tell people, "Oh, you need to try harder." People that don't try in life have no fucking business. Every single politician needs to go spend 3 nights, 4 days in your local frickin' homeless camps. Every single one of them. Yeah. Those are your constituents. Because